And now we're going to change the schedule a little bit because of the scheduling concerns. We will have one of the champions of Brooklyn seniors and of Brooklyn in general. We have the borough president, Marty Markowitz.
Thank you. Thank you. And look at my people. We've got a couple of mature people among us, and among them, I must tell you, growing up as a boy, I was a Brooklyn Dodger fan. And when the Dodgers moved to La La Land, I must tell you, I hate the Yankees. I still do. Sorry. Even though it's 53 years since the Dodgers left us, although I was at Yankee Stadium last week for the opener, I stayed 1 inning, and I felt so bad. I really did. I know but unless you're of my age and were as intense about the Brooklyn Dodgers as I was, you'd understand what I'm saying. But when the Mets came into being, most Dodger fans went to the Mets. You know that. And of course, we all watched them as they won their World Series. And I must tell you, among the stars, the greatest stars of the Mets, is someone who's right in this room right now, Art Shamsky. Art Shamsky. 1969 Mets. So there we go. But one of the greatest players the Mets ever had, Maria. And he's here visiting me and some others. So that's why I'm coming up here. Then I have to run down and have our meeting. And it's an honor to have you here, Art. Really. Thank you very, very much. One of the best ever in baseball. Maria, let me thank you very much. You were kind enough to deliver the shirt and everything from that wonderful gentleman in the Dominican Republic, and I met him, and it was nice hearing from him, and I thanked him for thinking of me. So thank you for bringing that back from the Dominican Republic, and let me welcome everyone to the Republic of Brooklyn and commend all of you involved with the Elder Index, the New York Statewide Senior Action Council, Executive Director Justin Cunningham, and Board Member Nancy Yost, Wider Opportunities for Women, Executive Director Joan Kiriansky, and the University of Massachusetts Boston Gerontology Institute, and Senior Research Coordinator Allison Gottlieb. Thank you all for being here. I don't know if Commissioner Lillian Barrios Paoli is here. Is she here? Is she here? Where is she? Oh, there she is. Oh, there you are. Okay, I'm sorry. By the way, I got to tell you, the mayor chose right when he chose this woman. She is just outstanding. We've had a wonderful relationship in her previous responsibilities, and now heading up our senior agency in New York City. It's really a pleasure to have you there in leadership role. I know that we're going to have some tough days, as you know. This budget is not going to be a happy one for us, perhaps even next year as well, but somehow, I know having you at the helm, you'll be there fighting for us to make sure that seniors get their fair share. Moderating today's proceedings, Maria Alvarez, Executive Director of the Brooklyn-wide Interagency Council on the Aging Educational Fund. Now, the Elder Index is exactly the kind of in-depth study that Brooklyn needs right now, and I'll tell you why. It's common knowledge that Brooklyn is New York City's silver lining. I like that. But more than that, Brooklyn is New York's gray haven, with the largest population of seniors, or, as they call them now that I'm 65, mature residents, than anywhere else in New York City. In fact, Kings County has the largest mature community than any other county in the state of New York. As you know, some of you may know, I finally became a member of the Medicare Club just a month and a half ago. I feel it's great to be part of this very exclusive club. And we all know that life truly begins at 65. And for those of you that are not yet 65, I've never met a person who doesn't want to be part of our club. Not one yet. Every young person I meet says, yes, I hope and pray someday that I'll be a member of that Medicare club. So I must tell you that now that I'm 65, I'm also officially, as I have been for a couple years, but I'm really officially a member of the Senior Center that I founded when I was 27 years of age, the Senior Citizens League of Flatbush on Ocean Parkway. Now I can walk in knowing that I truly belong, and they kept that seat waiting for me, nice and warm for years, and there you go. It's easy to see why we can say to ourselves how fast it goes. It truly goes fast. It was just yesterday when I founded that senior center, and here you go, Maria, here you go. Now I'm getting the counseling on Medicare, you know, Part A, B, C, it's amazing. Anyway, it's easy to see why seniors from elsewhere flock to Brooklyn, and why those who have been here all their lives decide to stay. when you consider all that Brooklyn has to offer, and sometimes we ignore it. We have walkable neighborhoods, which is true. Public transportation, unbelievable. Higher education institutions and medical centers, we do. For restaurants and cultural attractions, unbelievable. There's no better place, in my opinion, to spend one's sunset years than here in Brooklyn. In Florida, as far as I'm concerned, you snooze and you veg out. There's no question that Florida is about vegging out. Say what you will about Brooklyn, it's never boring. That is for sure. I've heard a lot of names, boring never. So it's incumbent on all of us in public service to make sure that all seniors, regardless of income level, have the quality of life here in Brooklyn that they deserve. The Elder Index will help us devise new strategies to do that, which we'll need, because today's seniors have unique needs. To coin a phrase, these aren't your grandparents' seniors, and I can tell you why in 2 words: baby boomers. Right now, boomers account for more than 1 out of every 4 New York City residents. And guess which part of New York City has the highest concentration of boomers? You're right, it's Brooklyn, USA. The sheer size of this community will put a strain on our available senior services unless we plan accordingly. And I'm at the very edge of the baby boom, very edge. And believe me, anyone 64 and somewhat younger are in that baby boom era. Many of these boomers will not choose to live lives we've come to expect from seniors in previous generations. For example, many of them will not retire outright, for sure, and especially during these challenging economic times. Totally retiring is not an option for most. They may instead choose to work part-time or full-time because their work defines their lives. And let's face it, a lot of us, work is our life, and we'll choose to continue working regardless of the age they reach. And the economic downturn has seen many retirement nest eggs shrink. So many of our maturer folks have to work in order to maintain a level of life that they wish to have. And just because you're retired doesn't mean you're tired, I have to tell you. Many seniors like to get out in the evening and enjoy their lives because we all know, as I said before, life begins at 65. If anything, the seniors today are active. I know. It's unbelievable how active they are. And finally, it's their time to enjoy their life and get out there and do a lot of things they deferred during their lives. And to really go to university. Many of them, as you know, are taking credits for higher education. Some travel if they have that ability extensively, work, get involved in organizations and devote their time to help others, whatever it may be. They're very active today. The bottom line, Brooklyn seniors define the character of Brooklyn. That means paying close attention to the findings of the Elder Index isn't just good for Brooklyn seniors like the census. The Elder Index is good for all of Brooklyn, because I always say the more you do for seniors today, God willing, you'll enjoy tomorrow. The more government focuses on seniors today, the better it'll be for Brooklyn's younger residents, no question about it. The next generation of seniors to enjoy their lives. So thank you all for being here at beautiful Brooklyn Borough Hall on this nice day. And I like to say we're going to be, Lillian, we're going to be the majority. I'm telling you something. And there's no question about it. Just remember this, when people are out there, politicians, if they're anything like me, I remember very well in my campaigns, Art, when I was 27, I lost that election. And when I was 32, I won that election. The grayer they were, the more I went over to them. There is no question. The grayer they are, the more I loved them. And it's a good lesson because we know that seniors vote. There is no question about it. When it comes to those interest groups in New York that matter most, there's no question that seniors turn out in greater percentages than any other age group. And that's the clout that you and I have at being mature, and those you serve, those of you that are providers to seniors, that's the power that we have and that we may have to use fully, especially for this budget and next year's budget as well. Thank you all very, very much. Thanks. And Art Samsky.